Boom, boom, the scanner, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. All right, we got a bit of Azur laying up tap today. So today is a day 70 event. You should be finishing up most, if not all, of the actual events. So we'll go ahead and take a look at them. I've got them all knocked out here. The first event is World Within a Painting. This was basically just, each day for the 7 days, today being the 7th day, they popped out a mission, and this is what you get. This nice little painting here. Okay, so that and you get the actual high tent and high tea. I will show you those ships here shortly when I go through all over the ships. I'll show you these two ship rows when we get to it here. Retrofit mission. This is, of course, to get the retrofit items for Anshan and Changcheng. So I do have those as well. As you can see, I've collected those. On the 7th day, which is today, you'll have the two little enhanced gear and sword to take to get the little item. So even if you're not going to retrofit them at this time, you want to get this because, like I said in the I think it's like 2 videos ago, these items will not be available only during this event. So you're going to have to wait for a rerun event to get these until they get put in the shop. They'll be put in the shop along with Warspites and San Diego's retrofit items as well. Those are in the shop, the core shop now, but they were not in there before. In the not the core shop, is that in this shop where you get the blueprints. So this right here is Auto Explorer again. This was to get all of the actual red packets, which are right here. Manage your resort. So you wanted to get 25 of these. You should have got a ton of crystals, guys. I spent 200 just a couple days ago to get 10 more slots, and I still have 369. So I almost have enough to get another plus 2. I have almost enough to get 2 more. So I'm back to probably close to about 250 or so free gems, and that's in concretes that you can use in the actual shop. So that's very, very valuable. So you definitely want to make sure that you get farm all of the red envelopes. The lit up berry, this is to actually get the ticket, which I did get. I got that some time ago. You only need to get 1,000 of the little charms there, so that's all that. And they got another cruise mission up. This one runs from 2/1 to 3/31, and this one has Genyo in it. Her ship is in here, so this is Genyo Meta. We'll have another video on her a little bit later. She's one of the, I think, based on her kit, she's probably one of the better actual meta ships that they've come out with. They've come out with, I don't know, probably have about 6 of them now. Most of them haven't been really that good, but the last 3 or so haven't been bad. But I think she's the best one. So we'll do a little bit later because I got a bunch of other ships to go over. So the drawing board is complete. I got Elite Anshan. I already had Anshan, so this didn't help any much in that. And of course, the event for this is still going on. But I'm at 28,730. We finished this some time ago, so this is the server related. So you shouldn't have any trouble with that. You want to try to get all the rewards. We've still got some days up, so we still got about 7 days. So I should be able to get to 40,000 or 60,000. I think it is. Yeah, 60,000 by then. I'm about halfway through. That's not a very nice reward for 60. I mean, but I definitely want to get to 48. And you definitely want to get to 38 because that's going to have some of the high-level mats that you can only get inside of Operation Siren. But I definitely want to get here just because it's the blueprints that can be used for any ship. So I can throw those towards one of the priority ships. But yeah, it's still going. This was hilarious. This was hilarious. The Bristol is the new ship. We'll go over her here shortly, but she was just hilarious. She's a trip. Extremely curious, a high level of imagination inside this girl. Yeah, it just made the event seem hilariously funny. You definitely want to participate in that. All right, so let's go ahead. Now I've got all the ships except for I have not managed to get my hands yet on one of the ships inside the build. I've gotten Charybdis and I've gotten Bristol, but I have not gotten China High yet. I don't think, but this goes on for another 7 days, so I should be able to get her briefly. But let's go ahead and take a look at the dock, and I'll show you the new ships, and then we'll go ahead and go to the wiki, and we'll go over the actual thing. So okay, so the first, so these two right here, High 10 and High Chi again. So these are cruisers, okay, light cruisers. So in terms of what they got, you know, they're not bad, but again, okay, situational. If you're a new player, you know, and of course me, because I want to collect them. But again, I'm really not happy what they're doing here to the Dragon Emperor. They need to give us some ships that would make this fleet a reality, and they're just not doing that for some reason. I'm not exactly sure if they're trying to make this the gimmick fleet or something. Not really sure. But yeah, so yeah, but and then the Anshan and Changsha, these are the retrofit units. So to make these ships a little bit better, you can retrofit them up. But again, destroyers. So you know, there are just better options if you're looking for in terms of destroyer. You got Shimakaze, UR destroyer, Udachi retrofitted. Is a light cruiser. You know, they're just better all around. So there really isn't no reason. So I'm not going to retrofit these girls up at this time, but I do have the item so that if it ever comes along, I'll be able to do it. All right. So that's what everything else in here. You know, you should have been able to get variously through various means. Charybdis and Bristol are HMS, so I'll show you them. I've got them as well. If you go into take this sort out, all factions, and go to favorites, you'll see them down here towards the bottom. So here's Charybdis, and I have Bristol as well. I don't think I put Bristol in my favorites though. She's not in my favorites. She's down here towards the bottom. I just got Jamaica in the build today too. I just got Little Bell, which I did not have shortly. And here's Bristol right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump over to the actual wiki, and we'll go ahead and take a look at these ships to get the stats. So the stats on this is, you know, pretty much basic. There's really nothing in the stat line that's going to, like, you know, that jumps out and say, you need to build me up, max me out, and use me. Now, the kit, though, is what makes her a little bit different. The first skill, Lights Out. Every 20 seconds, this ship points her lantern forward, illuminating enemies. Illuminated enemies suffer 10% reduced evasion rate for 10 seconds. This is an intentional shout to Chapter 14. In Chapter 14, I believe it's the last two chapters, 3 and 4, the story mode, you will encounter stealth ships that have stealth capabilities. This will reduce that. But again, you know, even with this ability, you throw down a Shimakaze and a Udachi in the front line, put Sanfran in the center. She's a USS ship, but she heals the front line. You have to make sure that Sanfran's in the center to get the healing options. You put her in different. If you put her in different spots, she does different things. The center front is where you want her. That makes her healing. Surround her with Udachi and Shimakaze, and you're going to have a literal wall of torpedoes constantly being spammed. So it doesn't matter if it's ship stealth or not. They're all going to get hit, and it's just having that firepower. It eliminates you having to fall back heavily when you're out of ammo, because you don't have to worry about the out of ammo debuff, because out of ammo is just, it doesn't include torpedoes. Torpedoes are still viable, so it's constantly having some DPS even when you're starting to get into that out of ammo buff. But she's, if you don't have Shimakaze, she was just out a couple of weeks. 2-3 weeks ago, I think. Yeah, 3 weeks ago. Yeah. So you should have her. But if you're a new player, you should have gotten her. But if you did not get her, then this is something you might want to focus on. Or if you're having trouble building up Shimakaze, because Shimakaze does require the special bullets, which are in the prototype shop. So you might have to. She's a viable ship for 14 if you're getting ready to tackle. But if you just started a month ago, you're not going to be able to do 14. Okay, you're not even going to be close to 14 as of yet. But this is something you might want to focus on building up when you do ever get ready to attempt 14. So every 20 seconds, summon Data 857. When Data 857 is summoned, it's like sort of like a little, sort of like robotic type thing. It fires a special barrage, and for 10 seconds, increases the ship's accuracy and crit rate by 15%. Now, here's what's nice about it. During battle, increases damage by 10% that your Alan M. Sumner class ships deal to make enemies that have been illuminated at least twice. The first time each battle, this skill activates, increases the damage Alan M. Sumner class ships do to end the battle. So this is only for Alan M. Sumner class ships, and there's only a few of them. There's Ingraham, Cooper, Bristol. Cooper's actually pretty good. And Ingraham's not bad either. So, but again, just she's a destroyer, so death. There's not a lot you can do about it. Okay. All right, so let's go to the next one. Charybdis. Charybdis, basic stat line all the way across here. She is a Royal Navy. She is a maid. She's Dido class, which means she's going to have pretty good anti-air. She does. Her skill set leans towards the anti-air. So if you are lacking anti-air, if you don't have Sandy Retrofit or Dido, Dido U, for your anti-air, those are the two, in my opinion, the two best ships probably related to that you can get easily for anti-air. Make sure you retrofit Sandy, and you won't have any trouble with anti-air whatsoever. Planes will just not get to your backline. They will be destroyed before they do, the fighters. So yeah. So if you're lacking some anti-air, it's not good. As you can see, increase the ship's anti-air can be stuck to 5 times. When the battle increase the ship's evasion by 10%, 70% should spawn a whirlpool that draws in deals damage to enemies. This is actually not bad at all. Okay, excellent for crowd control. Okay, so she's not a bad ship, but there are just better options at the point. And then this is their anti-air skill. As you can see, it does a lot to her anti-air. And then every 50 duration increases the ship damage dealt by 30%, increases her damage taken by 5%. So it's all that. So yeah, she's not a bad ship at all, Charybdis. So if you're a newer player, you might want to focus on her because you definitely want to get some anti-air. Anti-air is one of the difficult things it's not important until you start getting into 10, 11, 12, 13. You're going to start seeing a lot of ships, a lot of carriers. You're going to start seeing a lot of aircraft, and they can really obliterate your backline if you do not get them stopped. And so you need to have anti-air. So Sandy, retrofit San Diego, and Dido, and now we can, I guess, because of Charybdis, is pretty good in terms of anti-air. So that would be something if you wanted to look for in terms of her. Chen Hai. I don't have her as of yet, but like I said, I've got a few much time in the build. I should get her up. Nothing to talk about here. She's a light aircraft carrier. So as you can see, nothing on the stats here that she's got a little bit higher speed, which is good because that's the thing. The problem is if you're a new player is that the only place to get seaplanes is inside the core shop. You're not going to be able to get those seaplanes as of yet inside the core shop because it takes too long to build up the core to actually get in there and do it. So if you do have her, maxing her, building her is probably not going to be a feasible option in terms of that. She does, however, have a great graphic. Okay. Selecting star-studded formation. Fires every 8 seconds. Fires a level 10 special barrage. Damage based when 4 of the same colored shots in a row from this barrage hit the same enemy. One of the following debuffs. If the shots were black, the enemy's speed is decreased by 30% for 2 seconds, which is not bad. If the shots were white, the enemy dealt damage increased by 15% for 2 seconds. That's not 15% for 2 seconds. I mean, you might get lucky and hit it, but 2 seconds is not very long. When this ship launches it launches an additional level 10 special airstrike. If your fleet consists of time, it improves the special airstrike. At one randomly chosen ship in your fleet deals 10% increased damage for 5 seconds. Okay, so yeah, not in that. Some nice things about her. She does get a +1 ammo at level 120. Is nice. But again, but she's an elite. She's an elite. I mean, you do want an SR. The stats don't, qualified. But if you're a newer player, you might want to get her. And I'm going to try to get her. I'm not going to build her up and use her. I'll get her up to about 40 or 50. But I really don't have any intentions of actually using her inside of anything at this point. So, so Bristol and Charybdis are really two of the ships. Now, again, high T Titan that you get from that. Again, there's really not a whole lot to go for. The problem is the fact that the stat lines are just not there. There's better options. If you're a newer player, yeah, they'll be good little frontline ships. I mean, try to do something. So you want to get them, but again, there's not anything in here that's going to say you need to have these ships, and if you don't have these ships, you're going to be set back. And Enchanted Fusion have been around for a long time. I got them the first time the event came around. So there's really not a whole lot. Again, the two best ships in this event are not Dragon Emperor ships. They're HMS Her Majesty's British ships. So it is what it is. So they just turned right around and threw the Dragon Emperor fleet under the bus again. So if you want to really build a fleet with these guys, you can try to gimmick it, but it's not going to have any upper 13, 14 usefulness in that terms. Okay. So Bristol, like I say, a clear shout out to 14. So if but like I said, I've got both Shimikaz and Udachi. That's the ones I'll be using. So yeah, so if you're looking for you've got better options. I mean, you got Shimikaz right here. I've got her maxed out at 125, so she's fully maxed. And you got the rainbow, torp launch on her. So she just look at that torpedo. I mean, that's just 750. Yeah, I mean, and she puts out a wall of these things. I mean, she's not just one torpedo; it's a wall of these things. Udachi, make sure that you've got Udachi retrofitted, as I've talked about her before. That she is now one of the best frontline ships in the game, and again, get a good torp launcher on her, and you're going to be, as you can see right here, over 600. It's just these two maxed out skills. Make sure you got their skills maxed out. Her skills get a huge buff after her retrofit, so you definitely want to do it. And fortunately, again, she has an item. They had the item for this a ways back when they first came out with the retrofit. So again, you're not going to be able to retrofit if you don't have the item. Again, it's not in the shot yet. So you want to continue looking. But Udachi is now UR. You see how the background has changed to rainbow. That takes an SR. When you retrofit it, she goes up to a UR. So both Shimikaz and Udachi are UR ships. I throw San Fran in the center on the front, and you should not have any trouble hanging through. You're going to need a high-level fleet. Don't get me wrong. You're going to want to have a New Jersey, the back fleet, Shinano, FDG. I've got all these ships maxed out. 14's not going to be that much of a problem for me. I autoed 12 without any trouble. The way I handle and I'm working on 13 right now. The way I handle it simple. You got two fleets, right? I take one fleet, and in that fleet I put Yuhu and I put San Fran. These are the two best healing ships in the game. Both of these ships give targeted direct healing, which means they focus on the ship that has the lowest hit points. Okay, so you're not wasting your heals. They're targeted healing. I put these two in the same fleet and throw in a couple of tough 125 ships to make that fleet. I run usually Sakura Empire ships because I just like using them, and because they have a little bit better against in the end game, and they have a better front fleet with Shimikaz and Udachi. Both of these are so good. All right. So what you do, and you make so you have your two fleets. I took one fleet, which is one fleet is a Sakura Empire fleet, and I usually throw the healing on that with San Fran and Yule. All right. This is the fleet that I run the out of ammo with. I take the other fleet, which is usually my Ironblood fleet, because that's my strongest fleet. You got Prince Heinrich, UVH, okay. And I run that fleet to 4, leaving 1 ammo on that. Set it aside over near where the boss usually spawns at. Then I clear everything else until all the other ships are gone. Because to get 3-star, and I like to 3-star on my levels, you have to clear all enemies. So it means you have to clear one time. You have to clear every enemy until there are no more enemies spawning, and then you kill the boss. You will be in the out of ammo buff for 3 or 4 sorties. It's just the way it is. So you need a ship that can survive without that. So having a healer and having Yuho, these 2 healers, and then having Shimikaz and Yudachi, you've got constant, you're doing constant damage even though you're in the out of ammo buff. And with these 2 healing, you can usually stay alive. So that's the way I did it in 12, and it works spiffly. I mean, at the end of 12, after running this, these fleets with like 8 sorties, still above 75% health. So that's the way I do it. And then the other fleet, when the boss spawns, I take that fleet that still has 1 ammo left, and bam, take out the boss to end the sorties and end the event, and end that story, and that's it. You got your 2 stars at that point. I always do it first and take care of it. And then from there on out, it's just going through, because you have to do it like 4 or 5 times, usually 4 or 5 times to actually get your 3rd star, and then you get your 3rd star. So that's the way I do it. And that's the way you got to do it. And it works for me, but I have a high level fleet, so it's not that big a deal. But you're not going to be going to 12, 13, and 14. You're not going to be going there until you've been playing for at least 6 or 7 months and got a pretty decent fleet. But yeah, I was able to auto most of 12, so it wasn't a problem at all. But that's what you want to do in terms of that. So yeah, Yudachi. But like I say, the shop that I'm referring to, for those of you new players, is actually the prototype shop right here. This is the Sparkling Mike for Sandy. This is the Warrior's Prowess. This is for Warspite. So pretty soon you're going to see the Oud barbecue sauce, which is actually what I think it's a barbecue sauce. Pretty sure it's barbecue for Yudachi. That's the refit item, and you'll probably see those 2 items for the True Dragon memberships in the event we just had. They'll most likely be put in here as well. But you have to understand, it was 2 years after that, before these year and a half. I think year and a half. Yeah, it was about a year and a half, maybe 2, before these items actually got entered into the shop. When I first came out, fortunately, one of the first events that I came across was this event. So I got this and was able to retrofit Warspite. She was my first retrofitted ship. And you should definitely, because it makes her a much better ship. It makes her UR quality ship. But Sandy, I had to wait like 7 or 8 months before the event came around again, so I could get the mic to retrofit Sandy. So getting the events, just get them now. Whenever you see an event, any time that comes out, and they're offering a retrofit item that's needed for a ship, do the event, focus on it, get it done, because that's it. Once it goes bye-bye, you have no chance of getting it again until the event gets rerun. And they would rerun the Sandy event 2 times a year, so you get it. You're at the whims of whenever they want to rerun the fleet, rerun that event. So that's just the best. So just get it. It's not hard. None of the qualifications for this event, guys, was anything. There was absolutely positively nothing in any of these. The enhanced gear 2 times, sorting obtained. If you just did your dailies, you would finish these events. Okay, there was nothing in here that was you had to go out of your way to focus on. All right, so just make sure you do that. And that's what I do each morning. I get on, look at what they are, do them, get them out of the way, and that's it. Okay, and I did that for 7 days, and I now have the items. And you'll see the items. They should be tucked away inside of your. They're going to be stuck inside of your depot, inside of your item, most likely. So let's see if we can find them in here. There they are, right there. So, Seal of the Azur Dragon for Anshan, and Seal of the White Tiger for Chang Chun. So whenever I do decide to actually do that, I will do that. I have not chosen my ship as of yet. And as you can see, they've got Belfast in here, Enterprise, Tehu's an X ship. You should choose her if you do not have her built up. And these are Dragon Emperor ships. Unfortunately for me, I got all of these. I'm pretty sure even I think I even Tehu's maxed out. Let's check and see if Tehu's maxed out. I'm pretty sure she is. I know I have Tehu U maxed out, but I'm not sure if I have the regular Tehu maxed out. So let's sort these ships. Bicycle Empire. Okay. See, there's Tehu. That's you. Okay, the ship that's not Tehu. That's regular Tehu. So I do have Tehu U maxed out. Do I have regular Tehu maxed out? See if we can scrap her down here. So yeah, okay. So I have this is right here is the original take. So I've got her maxed out as well. So none of those ships. So I'll probably just leave it until I get, because none of my Dragon Emperor ships are ready to be. I have not got any of them to 70. I'm pretty sure at this point they're all actually at. They're pretty much all at the. One point I need to get 1 to 70, and then once I get 1 to 70 I can pick that other ship and I could use that as a along with a bullet to actually fool them. But because I just haven't been it's just not, there's no ships in here that are, you know, I mean, if you wanted to try to, I mean, it'd be awesome to see somebody try to do 12 and 13 with a fleet composite of these ships, even once they're fully maxed, because you got destroyers and light cruisers. So there's I mean, we finally got a carrier, but she's a light carrier. So I'm just not really sure what they're doing with this fleet. I think it's just obviously a gimmicky something fleet. Maybe they just have want to have a nice little cute setup. So that's all I could think that they're doing at this point. Yeah, so that's where it's at. So I'll probably do one here in the future, just so I can use the ticket. But yeah, I have to wait and see what we can get in that, and then I'll choose the ship. Okay, so yeah, so guys, none of the events that should be coming up on the end of it. Everything was pretty much easy. Fu Shun's Great Adventure. This right here was to get Fu Shun, okay, which we've got, as I showed. So go back to the dock. Fu Shun right here. So yeah, I already had her. Like, see, this was a lot of these events were rerun. I already had Chang Chun, Shan, and Fu Shun. I didn't need to get these ships, but you did want to get these two ships because these are limited time ships and these are new, so these will not be in any build. So you definitely want to get them through the event. All right, so that's pretty much everything that happened throughout the event. It was pretty good. Make sure you get all the red envelopes, and make sure you do the event, because some really good stuff inside of here. That missile, that's going to be, you know, that's going to be another type of you know, this missile right here. This is going to be really good, and to fire this you need the special gun, and you get that inside of the event as well. So yeah, it's, you know, we're going to get it. We're going to try it. We're going to bring it up, and we're going to see if we can get as much out of it as you want to. It's right here, right here. It's this one right here. It's the 53 quintuplet. Okay, so this is what we're doing. I'll go ahead and make it. You're getting blueprints for it inside of the event to actually make it. So I'm going to max out that, and I'm going to put that missile. So that missile, I think it's going to be something. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be something that we can, you know, utilize right here. So we'll just have to see, but it does look really cool. Quintuplet torpedo pout, so 53 millimeter. So we're going to see what we can do with that beastie boy. And we'll hit it with that special missile, which I think that's what that missile's for. This right here, the SY-1 missile. This is the first actual missile that we came out with. Go destroyer. I would really like to see if I could put this on Shimikaz. That would be totally awesome. Coming out of the Rainbow Torp would be awesome. So let's do all factions, because I know she's in all factions' favorite Shimikaz. So no, it won't come. It doesn't look like it's an option availability right at this time. It doesn't look like. Yeah, it doesn't look like we can actually. It doesn't look like we can do anything with it at this time. So you're most likely going to have that gun put on there. But I'm not going to take the torp off for her. What I might do is I might put it on Udachi though, because Udachi just has a regular torp on her. So let's see if we could do that. So let's go to Udachi. Okay, she has this. So we're going to change this. So she's got torp as well. So we're going to change it to the new. They're not going to let me use that as well either. Right, here it is. So I could put this torp on her. Okay. Now do I have the ability to actually use that missile? Oh, she's not a destroyer. It's only valuable on destroyers. So, well, that's not good. So, change that back because she's actually, as you can see, she's a destroyer. I wonder why we can't. Put that on there. I would expect that to be a feasible option. Not a feasible option. I wonder why. I have to figure out why we can't use that missile. Because it's really good, just really heavy damage. That's why when missile. Yeah, it's equipped by a destroyer, so it should be able to go on there. But it's going to be, yeah, that's a bunch of damage. So that's going to make it something that we can definitely use in terms of that. Let's see here. It might just be the fact that you could only use one at a time. Is what I'm thinking. Which means I'll have to take this off. So yeah, that looks like it's what it's going to have to be. So I'm going to have to remove this. Well, I mean, I want to change it and swap it around for that, but it won't let me swap it either. No, won't let me swap it either. So we'll have to figure out exactly why we can't use that and see what it goes on. But that's going to be a ton of damage and see which gun it goes to. But this is a really nice torpedo mount. So you definitely want to put that on one of your good ships. I'm going to go ahead and switch back to this tin here, because as you can see, this is the MK17 version of the same thing that she's got right now. So I'm just going to put that back on her simply because I'm going to be using her here shortly. So I want to put I'll bring that other up in a bit. But yeah, so you definitely want to make sure that you do complete that event, because that is where you get those actual that torpedo is inside of the event, and the blueprints to build that missile, that torpedo are inside of here as well. Some of it is inside of here. Okay, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, okay, inside of here. Yeah, so it's popping up inside of here and then the missile's like right here. So you have to do the server thing to get the missiles where it was at. And like I say, we cleared this out we cleared it out on the 31st, so we cleared this out 3 days ago. Which my server always does. Every time we've had this event, it's been cleared out, as I said, 7 days before we had it need to be done. Because as you can see, we all participated. I did every single run. Okay. Make sure that any extra that you throw in, I throw in San Fran Year. This fleet survives. I have no problems. I'm getting about 220, between 220 and 250 on average. Points using this fleet. Okay, so this is Rune, San Fran, and Baltimore on the front lines. And then I got because I did the first fleet I took in did not survive. It went. I had like 10 seconds left, and they were all dead because there's a lot of flak coming at you. The whole screen fills up with stuff, and it's hitting you and stuff. So you need some healing. This by the time I'm finished, the back line is completely fine, and San Fran in the center. The Vanguard is down about a little bit more than 50. They're like 60% roughly. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to take out, try taking out you and putting in another power ship to get a little bit more damage and see if we still survive just with San Fran healing. If we don't, then I'll put Yuhu back in and I'll take San Fran out and put in a damage dealing ship on the front. Basically to see if I can survive and get more points by removing, you know, a healing ship. But what I like about San Fran is they still do damage. A lot of the other ships, except for Unicorn, but again, Unicorn was an elite ship. She wasn't an SR ship. And again, her targeting, she did not target heal. So, but they just, a lot of the healing ships that are, you know, they just don't, Akashi, they don't do damage. They just heal. Okay, so there's really not a whole lot you can get from them. San Fran changed that. That's why I got them both at 125, and you should as well. You'll find survivability increases dramatically. Once you max them out, max out their skills, you'll find out that you will be surviving a lot of things that you were not surviving before, as I've said in numerous videos. Okay, so, but yeah, so I'm going to mint and match. We still, like I say, this event's still going to, we've still got 7 days. We're only halfway through the event, so I haven't had a chance to do, you know, I just finished everything up today now and start having fun with it, trying different stuff and seeing how much I like to get up. I like to get, to completely destroy it. It's really close to being destroyed, but it's not. I think, you know, I go the time limit, but I want to destroy him, you know, before the time limit runs out. So I'm getting close. I've got him down to about, I think, like 24. It was 25 or 25 left. They had 25 lives left. So, but again, I've got 2 ships that I can get more damage from without having those 2 ships in there. So I'll see if I can still survive it without actually having to have both those ships in there. You know, and you know, the events will reset tomorrow. We'll try it again. But other than that, that's everything. All right. So again, I just wanted to do a video, let you know, get everything you can. It's a nice event, and even if you're not going to use the ships, you know, if you're a collector like me, you want to get them. So thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe. Once you've subscribed, you'll see the bell. Click on it. You get notified each time I drop a video. Also, remember to like and share the video, as that helps the channel tremendously. This is Ken Rick coming at you from the corner, signing out.